I'm Sanskriti Purohit. Currently, I've just graduated from University of Delhi. I've done a Bachelor of Science in Mathematics with honors, and I'm going to pursue a Master's in Statistics, hopefully from one of the universities in the US. And while applying for the universities in the US, you have to consider your GRE scores as well. So I was not sure how to start preparing for the GRE. That was my main concern. Quant, I wasn't as much worried about. I was more worried about the verbals, which website I should go for and stuff. And I came across this thread about what websites you could consider for GRE training. I wanted it to be, I didn't want it to be too expensive. I just wanted it to be just enough. So I came across Galvanize. I went through their, I think it was a course structure that they gave. So I went through that and I opted for it was the 3-month course that I opted for, 90 days. I opted for the 90-day course, and then I was able to work on my verbal skills, and thankfully I was able to get a decent score in that. And same with Quant, I would say I did not focus much on Quant. I focused more on verbal side, and the practices and the videos that show you how to approach those questions were quite helpful in that. Content was quite effective. The approach that they gave for the sentence, selecting what kind of word should go in a sentence, like you should first assume your own word and then look at the options which match that word. So that was quite useful. For sentence equivalence, I went for a different method. I first selected the pairs that we had in the options, and then I selected which of those pairs suited my answer. So that was just a little bit of difference over there. The RCs they gave a good advice of doing it first and then going for attempting all those questions rather than looking at the question and then looking where you can find it in the RC. And the suggestion that you select a primary topic that the RC is talking about was also very good. I'd say that it was more difficult. If you look at my scores, I'd say the Galvanize test was more difficult in terms of font and verbal, but that helped me out in the final GRE. So I looked at those. Since I was mainly focusing on verbal, I looked at those explanations that were given after solving those questions. Even the ones that I did correctly, I prefer to look at the explanation and see if I was in the right path, and that helped me. They were quite beautiful. I mean, they probably already know I was not a very good student, clearly, but I was concentrated, thankfully to them. I'd say that it's an affordable way of getting your desired score, obviously, and there's a lot of practice that you have to do when it comes to GRE, because as you practice, you're able to improve quite a lot. Like in my verbal, initially, I was not performing very well, but even after like 30 days, there was a sudden improvement in my verbal, and I was not sure why it was there, but there was improvement, and that's what makes you happy to practice even more. And Galvanize helps encouraging you to do the same, be it in quant or verbal.